Merhaba değerli izleyiciler. Göztepe Başkanı Rasmus Ankersen'le birlikteyiz. Kendisine bazı sorular yönelteceğim. First of all, I would like to start with a season evaluation because it's your first year in Super League, even though you've taken the club in 2021. I want to go in that phase of the questions later. How is it going so far? You just get 2 points from away games, even though there are many positive things. I also want you to evaluate this as well. How is it going so far?
Well, I think we had a good start to the season. I think the way we want to play, the way we want a Göztepe team to look like, I think we look like that. And I think we have a team, we have a young team, the youngest team in the league. We feel the team will get better as the season goes on. So far so good. We are happy with the start of the season. And the away games is we struggle more than we have done at home, but I don't think it's such a pattern. It's not a huge problem. I think we will fix it. We will get better when we play away. And we've been a bit unlucky in some of the away games to not get anything in terms of points. But so it's not a big worry for me.
Actually, looking back in Midtjylland and Brentford and now here in Göztepe, I know that it's obvious that set pieces goals are very important for you. And here in Göztepe as well, we can see that you have scored many goals, not many, but 3 goals for now from throw-ins. And I've heard a rumor that you are rewarding your players after scoring 4 throw-in goals. Is it true? And of course, it's a joke. But what is the importance of the set pieces goals for you? And of course, the data of this in your teams and in Göztepe as well.
Well, I think we try and be good in every phase of the game. We try and be good in the pressing. We try and be good in the set plays. We try and be good in the build-up, and you have to look at the characteristics of the team and where you have the characteristics to be strong. It's hard to be amazing in every phase of the play, but obviously we try and get the goals from wherever we can get the goals from, and set pieces is an important part of the game, and something we work on for sure.
Okay, and you don't reward your players after throwing.
I'll keep to myself what I do to incentivize my organization.
Okay, I have the answer already. About the youth academy here, of course, there are many teams, especially in Turkey, that are investing very much on players. They are paying so much big transfer fees for them. But considering Göztepe in that terms, you're not actually paying that much money for transfer fees, and you know the budget, also the players. You also mentioned that underdog teams like Brentford or like Göztepe are more of your style maybe. How would you explain that to the Göztepe fans, and how is it going? How do you manage things in this kind of leagues?
I explained it to the Göztepe community from day one. I said, don't expect someone to come in and splash the cash, because that's not our model. It's never been my model in my career. It's been to try and punch above your weight by doing things that are maybe different than the opposition. I mean, money can also only solve. Money won't solve every problem you have, and I think, as I said in multiple occasions to fans and in media, there are many other teams. There are many other ways of improving a team than buying new players. You know, the training processes, the day-to-day processes, everything you do behind the scenes and that we work on every day. It's important, but in Turkey you like the transfers and you like the rumors and you like the speculation. I understand it, but it's not our model. Of course we will do transfers. Of course we've invested in the team. Everyone can see that. But there's a lot of other things you can do, and it's part of our model. So yeah.
How do you build that spirit, team spirit, or how do you build that model? And how do you think is different from Midtjylland or from Brentford, comparing Göztepe with those teams?
No, every club I worked at has been different. Every environment has been different. What worked in England is not necessarily what works in Turkey, and what works in Denmark. But I think when I originally started looking at Göztepe, I was obviously amazed by the community, the fans, the infrastructure, the city of Izmir, and I thought you could build a great club there to be the pride of Izmir. And this is really what I want to make Göztepe, is to be the pride of Izmir that can eventually challenge to get into Europe in most years. But the things that work here, I think, not necessarily what works there. I think we try to develop a style of play we think works in Turkey, which is a very aggressive, intense style of play. I think also it's important to have a style of play that appeals to the fans and the community behind the club. And I think Göztepe fans likes this kind of football. They like the action. I don't think they don't want to go to a classical concert every week. They want to go to a rock and roll concert, and I think we are providing rock and roll for them at the stadium. And so I think we found something that works in terms of being effective, but also something that appeals to the fans and to the guys that will be there even when we are gone, supporting the club.
In Midtjylland, it was the club's first time that they joined two Champions League groups, and also you made the team, champions. And then in Brentford, first time in Premier League in your period of time there. And now, what is your objective in Göztepe? What is the farthest way that you can go here?
Well, the first objective is that I want to build a club that Izmir can be proud of. I think Izmir as a city, which I love, and every time I go there, I love it even more, and deserves to have a football club it can be proud of. So my first ambition is to build that club in Izmir, and that should be Göztepe. I want Göztepe to represent the values of Izmir, the fighting spirit of Izmir, and then on the pitch, we will do as well as we can, and I think it would be amazing to take Göztepe back into Europe for the first time in many, many years. And I think this is what we're all working hard every day to achieve. And this year maybe too early, but it may also be possible. And then we try again in the years. But football clubs are a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's like you work every day and you improve, and then eventually you hope it'll be enough to get you the results you want. And that's really what I've done in my past, and this is what I'm trying to do here.
And Stanimir Stoylov is a very experienced coach, and you are now working with him for a long time. How would you describe his way of work, and what are your common parts, considering in football?
I think.
What did you guys bring together?
Yeah, I think a coach needs to fit the model of the club. You cannot start with the coach. You need to start with the model of the club. The model of Göztepe, as I said, is to play in a certain style, and I think Stanimir Stoylov shares those ideas. That's why we hired him. The type of football we want to play is the type of football he believes in. So there is a match, and there must be a match for that sort of marriage to be successful. I also like the fact that Göztepe is not like a club where you come and you play in front of no one every week. You play in front of a big fan base. There's a big fan pressure, and you need to be a certain character as a coach to deal with that and to be able to handle that. And Stanimir Stoylov had big experience managing a similar fan base in probably even much bigger actually in Levski Sofia, and this is an important part of the job. It's not like any football coaching job. This is another dimension to it that you have to deal with, and that was another reason for bringing him in.
Are you also investing on youth academies here in Göztepe? Because, or let's ask like this: should a Turkish player here, can a Turkish player here be excited and make dreams of going to, for example, England or Denmark by being educated in youth academies of Göztepe?
One of the objectives and reason we invested into Turkish football was to build an elite football academy. This was a core of the investment thesis. We are ready to invest in that. We have the money. We will invest in building a top academy in Izmir for Göztepe. But 2.5 years into the project, we still don't have the land. Okay, and this is a big thing and something that I think is worth mentioning, because I think when you have a foreign investor coming into the country,
you are the first foreign investor in Turkey.
Or first foreign investor ever in Turkish football. We are here. We are prepared to invest in Turkish talent. This is actually one of the main ambitions we have, and we still haven't been granted a land to build the academy on. And I think this is disappointing. I hope the city of Izmir will consider it something we are working hard for. We are pushing every day, but as an investor, I think it's a shame that we don't get that opportunity because it's not so difficult to solve.
Of course, it's one of the most important things for Turkish football economy as well. So hopefully it will turn out to be a good conclusion from after this interview. Thank you so much for attending. It was very nice to meet you. Evet değerli izleyiciler, Rasmus Ankersen'le birlikteydik.